this is kind of, I'm going to address different topic areas related to, I think, what stops us. This is kind of the main issue. But focus, I hope you can see these cards. Focus makes problems disappear. And focus is very difficult for a lot of people. You've not been taught to focus. And I think there's there's actually a couple of issues related to focus. Number one is our daily calendars are filled with a lot of things that are meaningless. They're just not important. There's a lot of very unimportant activities on our calendars, and there's very few true priorities. That in and of itself creates problems with us being able to get at the things that are really important to us, whether it's because we work in jobs that operate that way, or more likely, we have not taken control of prioritizing things that truly matter to us. That's one big element where we have problems focusing. And then the other issue is when we're focusing on any given thing, there's always two sides to every coin of everything that you focus on. There's the things that you actually want to happen, and then there's the things that you worry about because you're afraid or worried about what might happen related to what it is you want to happen. I would like to write that book, but I'm not sure where to begin. I would like to write that book, but I'm afraid it's going to fail. I'm afraid nobody will read it. I'm afraid I won't be able to get a publisher or a literary agent, whatever it is. And we tend to concentrate on what we're afraid of. And the one big thing is, if you can concentrate on what it is you want to happen, you're going to have a greater likelihood of it actually happening. And about 1 million people in this world have said, and I believe this to be true, is that, right, our energy manifests what we think about. It doesn't know good and bad. It doesn't know which side of that coin is the right one. It just is. And wherever your energy goes, that's what you're going to bring about. So if you can get your focus to be on what you want to happen, a lot of that other stuff will disappear. And I've long said that your greatest weapon against time is being fully present with what you're doing. That's what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about focusing on what it is that you want. So here's a little trick I'm going to give you that helps me free up my mind from things that I might worry about. And I want to give you this little tip that's really worked for me. In the last 100 days, actually I have it right here. In the last 100 days, so basically let's cover June, July, and August, and whatever we are into September here, almost 9-10 days in. And I keep a booklet. It's a field notes book. This is it here, and inside, there's a couple of little moleskin booklets or whatever. And this one right here is what I call my worry book. So every time that I have a worry, any fear, any worry, any fleeting thought, however light it is, if I'm thinking about something in the future, and that obviously might or might not happen, anytime I do that and it's a negative thought, I write it in this book. So on June 28th and 29th and 30th, I had a couple of little worries. One was about a business that I run that you guys are not familiar with. Another one is about something I was doing during a live show. July 18th, 20th, and 24th, I had some worry about something athletic. On July 27th, I was worried about the business again. And then on August 26th, I was worried about getting sick. And I'm going to tell you that exactly 0 of those things actually came to fruition. Now, on the one hand, I think that's pretty good that I've only literally had 8 things in the last 100 days, 8 times, I should say. It's not even 8 things. It's really more like 3 things, 4 things that I thought about in a negative fashion. Now, obviously, that I'm not perfect. I'm not 0 for the 100 days. But the point is, if you can pull something together like this, so I challenge you to do this for 30 days. Okay, and what it'll do is, number one, it'll free your mind. Once you write stuff down, you tend to want to let it go, even if it's a worry. And the second thing is, if you go back and you actually look at it, so keep a worry booklet or a list or a whatever. We all got these little phones and stuff. If you want to put it in your notepad, I really don't care where you put it. But unload it and then go back every week and see how many of those actually happened. right? One of my favorite quotes, Mark Twain. It's a Mark Twain quote. I'm sure I'm going to get this close, but although I'm sure there's variations, and he said something like, "I've been through some terrible things in my life, some of which actually happened." Right? So we tend to worry a lot. We tend to get stuck. We tend to be fearful for a lot of things that never even come to fruition, or even if they do, they tend not to be as bad as we made it up in our mind. So that's the first tip, right? So that will help you with focus. Now, actually, if you are interested in much more about focus, I have an entire session in my leadership coaching program if you want to take a deeper dive. But that's one element.